So it's like a little bit of cream. And
Now we're on the record, by the way.
Now we're on the record.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your coffee routine on the record now.
Great. Yeah. It blends well.
Mm-hmm.
The colostrum blends well with it. And, you know, it's like might as well.
How much is colostrum?
I found one that's on Amazon that's like probably like $1 a serving ish.
Okay.
There's some that are like absurd though, like $3 a serving.
Yeah.
And I was like, that just doesn't make sense to me.
We've been thinking about putting some of Delaney's product on the black market. It's like the most nutritious thing.
Yeah.
And
That's
I was like, listen, if Harper's not eating it all, you can make a little side quest here. Let's make
No,
some...
it is. Mine's not human. It's a bovine colostrum, but
Really?
yeah.
How'd you get into that?
I was talking with our nutritionist at USA, and I just kind of popped up. I just feel like I'm always kind of trying to find ways to,
little edge.
you know, what's another little 1% we can add, like, and so I was like looking at it online, and she was talking to me about it, or I was talking to her about it, and she's like, yeah, like we've had athletes take it in the past. It's been great. You know, they've had like reported plenty of success, or, you know, I think the main things that for me, like on the road, it's like really good for digestion and like kind of keeping that normal. And then from an immunity standpoint, it's really good for you. Like,
Is it like a powder?
yeah.
Okay.
So you just literally, it's like it literally looks like any, you know, powder that you take a creatine or it honestly looks like a protein powder mostly.
Okay.
And it's like a scoop, like quarter size scoop.
Got it.
Super small, and I just dump it in the coffee. I have like the little like hand blender that you use, and just mix it with the milk and coffee, and good
What's
to go.
your creatine intake right now?
Probably like, I would say I like over a normal 5 like milligram scoop. I just kind of, or 5 gram.
You just make it a heaping one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably like 7.5.
Okay. I just put like a tablespoon. I just get a table. I don't know how many grams it is.
And I eat a lot of red meat, so I eat a lot of red meat, so that's probably going to up it a lot.
You got your iron and creatine. You're good.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest supplement you've ever taken or tried?
Weirdest, huh? I feel like I haven't gone off like on like these crazy tangents.
You're not doing like you're not going like Liver King.
I did do I did like the beef organs for a little while. I couldn't really tell a difference.
Yeah, and it's tough,
much.
man. Like, have you cooked liver?
No.
It stinks.
Yeah.
And it's bad. I don't taste well. Like, Delaney will cook these really fancy stuff and use all these spices and like really small ingredients. She's like, do you
It's
taste
still really
this and
good.
that? I'm like, no. I wish I could tell you it's great, but I can't taste and man, when I got like a pound of liver and I was making it. Cause what's that meat store up by Target?
Wild Fork.
Wild Fork. Yeah. So my in-laws got me like a $150 gift certificate there for my birthday one year. Like, sweet. So I got like elk meat. I got some liver. I got some chicken hearts. I just got a bunch of different stuff. Yeah. And the liver, man, I just couldn't do. I wanted to like it because it's supposed to be so good for you. And I was like,
Supposed to be like most nutrient dense food you can have.
I couldn't do it.
What I saw, like if I ever did it, I saw somebody, basically what they would do is they would chop it up in little cubes and they just freeze it.
Okay.
And then they just do it raw and like pop it like, you know, just kind of like a supplement. You got to just get it down. And they just do little like cubes, like tiny little cubes, and just
got it
like once at every meal. And
yeah, man, it's funny now, like being on the other side of playing. And I'm like, you know, when I was playing, I was really trying to get like all the nutrients I could. And now I'm like, I'm good. Not worrying about it. I'll still do creatine. I'll do AG1. I don't do much protein powder anymore unless like I'm just late with doing whatever with the kids and I don't have time to eat breakfast. Mm-hmm. And I'll just like grab a quick protein shake on the way out and magnesium before bed. And that's my stack.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I probably go macros over micros. Like, just like, I'm really just make sure I hit my protein.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm pretty high on the protein side of things, and then like carbs and stuff. Like I think I've seen so many people like. I don't think as like far as like body composition goes, I'm far off from anybody else, and they're eating pretty miserably. It seems like eating like salad and all these greens, and like that's not me. It's not the South.
Not for you.
It's not the South in me. And so it's like, well, I ate a bunch of steak.
Yep.
And I ate a bunch of like meat and protein, and don't really notice too much of a difference. I feel like
before I married Delaney, I would have like one of 3 meals. It was bacon and eggs, some kind of meat, rice, and sauteed veggies, or some kind of meat, potatoes, and sauteed veggies. And that was my diet. That was it. That's all I ate.
Yeah. Now that Savvy's gone, she likes it when I make all these like more elaborate bowls and stuff. Now it's just like meat, carb, vegetable. There we go. We're good.
Because you're kind of the cook of the household.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you cook versus eat out?
We probably eat out maybe 1 to 2 times a week.
Okay. It's a good way to be. It's so much cheaper.
Oh my gosh. It's insane. Like,
and healthier.
I would probably credit beach volleyball players being poor like 75% of the time to how much they eat out.
I'd agree with that.
Like I watch everybody around us and they're like, oh, I have no money. And then like I watch where they go eat for lunch and then dinner and this and that. I'm like, well, it's because you're spending like $75 a day on food.
Right. It's crazy. And man, when people say, well, look at the steaks, like it's just as expensive to cook. I'm like, that's bad math.
If you want to do gourmet food, if you, like which we do, we probably cook steaks once a week and 1 to 2 times a week. And I only go Vaughn's. Vaughn's has like a sale almost every single week on steak on one cut of meat. And so it's like, well, like if I buy one, and we usually split a steak. And we just get a big one. And so it's like if I buy 1.5 pound New York strip and it's $13 a pound, that's still under $20
for two.
For two,
right?
$10 a person.
And potatoes are basically free. Rice is pretty much free.
Yeah, and then your veggies are going to be maybe like $3 for the day,
right?
At most.
Yeah, so you get like a $20.
It's still $15
really,
each.
Like if you could say we're to go to this unbelievable steakhouse because you grill steaks up to the quality of like almost a Ruth's Chris. But you don't cheat like Ruth's Chris does. Like you do really nice ingredients. For $20, be like, yeah, what a steal. We'll do that all day.
Yeah.
Cooking. It's the way to go.
Yeah.
But so there's not too often that someone deserves multiple podcasts in a year. You did one at the beginning of the year with our boy Tri. He's on a sabbatical in Hawaii. God bless him. Long deserved for him. I'm glad he's getting to do that.
I am too.
I am bummed for you because and for Tri, because I thought you two were perfect. Like I remember talking to you about it, and I was like, man, I think Tri, even with his health stuff, is still worth the gamble. And Tri called. He's like, what do you think of your boy Evan? Obviously, glowing review. I thought you were perfect for Tri. And you guys had moments of brilliance in like the 15 minutes that you played together.
That's pretty much what it felt like on the court together.
Man, and I think we got a glimpse of like how good you guys could be in Huntington. Had a swing for the match. Tri misses Phil's fingertips by like, I don't know, half an inch. And who knows what happens if he hits that, if he catches Phil and tools him and you guys move on, you play Miles and Andy.
But a lot of what ifs in our
a lot of what ifs in Tri's life since Tokyo really. But now, so here you are, you missed out on the league and you're in a weird scenario with the world tour and you're kind of like the, like what do people do? What does a beach volleyball player in the United States do in your scenario?
I think that's kind of been the question that I've received for the last 2.5, 3 months. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm so much in, you know this just from, us working for together. I'm so dialed on like organization, trying to plan things out, like really having everything together. And it's funny. I wouldn't say I'm the most religious person, but like I definitely am religious, and I'm not like praying and going to church, as consistent as some other people, but I definitely believe that there is a God. I definitely, like I don't talk back and forth with him. I've never heard like a full response, but
Right.
I think last year, at a certain point, I felt like I was becoming a very impatient person. And they always say, like, if you pray for something, I was praying for patience. And they don't give you chances to they don't give you patience, they give you chances to be patient.
Yeah.
And I think this year has very much been that, summed up. I could have been super frustrated and pushed really hard when Try initially got hurt, for him to get back. Had to stay patient, okay, trust things going to go to plan. Beginning of the year, even before that, we could have very easily turned some very, very small losses into wins and been in a very good position on the world tour. And maybe he's having a different conversation with himself to keep pushing, if that's the case, in Mexico. But we had to be patient after that. It's crazy. I did the math on the year, and I think we ended up, I want to say like 3-8, 3-7, or 3-8.
Yeah.
On the year. And I actually think we had a positive point differential.
You won the popular vote.
We had a positive point differential in being 3-7 or something like that. And that was just like, okay, you got to be patient, and that's frustrating. That's, like you're saying, moments of greatness, moments like glimpses of being really good, and just barely losing games. And so now just continuing the path of patience.
Yeah.
Finding, ways to make it when you can. I think that's one of the beauties that I have of what my life has kind of been up to this point, is I've always been a grinder. I've always figured out ways to make things work. Coming from where I came from, it wasn't like the traditional easy path up. And so I know this path. I know that things aren't easy, and I know that in order to make it to the top, you have to grind. And I think the impatience was growing from like, when is the breakthrough? I thought like China last year was the breakthrough, and then getting to Try was the breakthrough.
Right.
And it wasn't. That was, okay, well, we got to still continue to be patient, I guess.
Yep.
And so just continuing on that same path, continuing to grind, continuing to work, and just believing and trusting that what I have, it's good enough.
Right.
And I think that's been the majority of what this year has been for me, is just trusting in myself, trusting in my process, and trusting the people around me that we're doing what it takes. And it's actually been really funny, because I think a lot of the comments and things that I've seen lately, it's almost the opposite of that. I'm not doing enough and not doing these things. And it's really funny, because like I can't take it to heart at all. Like I don't, because I think if you talk to anybody in my circle, it'd be like, he actually is maybe on the like side of doing too much, and he needs to take more of a break.
Yeah.
So it's just really funny on that side, like kind of seeing the inside versus outside. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it's like from an American point of view, like what does a player do when they don't make the league? Like from a scheduling standpoint.
That was a big pain point at the beginning of the year, I think, is being able to plan out the year was really tough, of like, what are we going to do? And then we had so much hinged on that Huntington, the last the AVP event, of, okay, well, we can decide what the rest of our schedule is going to be after that. And then what other profession are you deciding what the rest of your year is going to look like in the middle of May. You're 5 months into the year and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of the 6 months. And so now and then adding a wedding into that has also been really interesting of like, okay, how do we plan these things? How do we do this? How do we do that? Savvy and I think we have like 2 weekends off. One of them is my bachelor party and the other one we're going to Mexico to like finalize our wedding. Like that is the 2 weekends that we have off for the rest of the year, especially now, like I was saying, really getting back to the grind.
Yep.
Obviously there's a little bit of financial stability and safety with the league that I don't have now. So that turns into, like I was saying, grinding. You've got to go play more tournaments. You're not making as much. So you've got to go and earn it every single time and just keep earning it every single weekend. And, that's pretty much where my mind is how I'm going to make it right now. Find something, go play it, go win it.
Yeah. Have you adjusted? So the goals at the beginning of the season, make the league, qualify for world champs. Make the league is out. World champs, you still have a chance via a different route than you had anticipated. There will be, have they set the date for when the NORCECA trial will be?
Yes, the Friday of my bachelor party. So it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday, and they just changed it because it's the week after Manhattan. Okay. And so Manhattan would not give them the permits to run it on Wednesday, so they somehow managed to do Friday. So now I will be late to my own bachelor party.
That's hilarious.
Welcome to the life of beach volleyball. Just when you think you have your stuff scheduled, you don't.
Fashionably late. And hey, going to a bachelor party late is actually the move, even if it's your own, because then you just go hard for 2 days and it's great. But if you go early to a bachelor party, that's a problem. We don't have the endurance for that anymore. But so that qualifier, it's what, 8 teams?
Yeah, it'll be 8 teams from the U.S. I think it's based on FIVB points.
Okay.
Not AVP points. And winner gets to go to...
Single limb.
Yeah, single limb. Winner gets to go to NORCECA qualifier for world champs.
In which and from what I remember, correct me if I'm wrong on this, they split it up into 2 pools basically, and the top 4 from each pool.
I believe that's what they did last time.
Yeah.
And it's NORCECA, so who knows?
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, so the way they did it last year, and I think this was how the Taylors qualified.
Yeah, because that was the most wild qualifier because they had to technically play 2 events almost.
And they had to finish in what, Mexico?
Aguas Calientes. Yeah, remember they played that super early morning
in the Equestrian Center. Yeah, so the Taylors, they qualified for the World Championships in 2023 in Tlaxcala, Mexico, by winning the USA qualifier, going to Mexico, or going to Dominican, gets rained out. They can't finish. They have to play their last match against Puerto Rico in Aguas Calientes, Mexico.
It was actually Cuba. It was, and I think it was a defunct match that didn't really matter.
Okay.
It was just for extra points, but they had to fly all the way there.
We were in Mexico.
We were there. It was that tournament.
Mexico. Okay.
It was that tournament.
Yeah. I remember streaming it. Got it. When we were in the little restaurant, we were at a NORCECA in Aguas. They were okay.
Yeah.
Now we're back.
And they literally flew there for one flight. I think they got in that morning or the night before and then flew out that afternoon. Yeah. Like one day, get me out of here. We're done. We're qualified officially.
Yeah. So essentially, like if you're from the U.S., if you win that USA qualifier, you got to go to NORCECA and earn it. But basically, if you win that qualifier, it's a 99% chance that you're going to make it.
As long as you are capable of playing probably volleyball at a 70% level, you will make it.
Yeah. So for American fans, Friday, is it in Manhattan or Hermosa? Do you know?
I think it'll be Manhattan.
Okay. Friday in the South Bay after Manhattan. That's going to be a very intense, very important qualifier because the men will at least one team. Because I think Andy Miles will qualify for world champs. I think Cayman James will qualify, and I think Chase and Miles will qualify. So it's a playoff for that last spot.
And it sounds like as of right now, I think 2 of those teams may be playing that just in case.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because Andy and Miles are only playing elites, so they're really only going to have 6 finishes. Chasing Miles might play just as insurance. Well, yeah, that makes sense. That'll be intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the original. Missed on the league. World Champs is going to look a lot different. Have you had the opportunity to reevaluate your goals and what you're trying to get out of this year?
Yeah, I think this year, I think the ultimate, like you have like short-term goals, long-term goals. And I think the ultimate goal is LA 28. And I think the shifting in goals is kind of like, obviously I wanted to achieve these things this year, but do either of those things necessarily mean that I can't do the big goal? No is the answer to both of those. Obviously World Champs helps. Having that experience to go to a World Championships before Olympic qualifying helps. But neither of them technically bear any weight on that long-term goal. And so it's really just another year of development and, figuring out the way to make the living and just kind of shifting the focus to longer term versus the short term, where thought it was like, okay, last year is a really good building year, have some success on the world tour, have some success with Alisson, really learn a lot from him. And it was just like, nope, you're not ready to compete, I guess. You're still need a little bit more development. You got to figure out a partner. And I think that's kind of where my brain is right now, is who is the right guy, who is the right person to take on that journey with. And that's where I'm at right now. And I think that's the goal this year is identify like the top, maybe 2 or 3 people that like I could go on that journey with.
Yeah.
And so that's maybe the goal now, is identification of who to do it with versus, I think we get so outcome oriented, and it's funny. I feel like Tri talks a lot about it, or did talk a lot about it, and wanting to be process oriented and trying to, be the best version of ourselves. But we still get so fixated on that result. Yeah. Versus, we didn't achieve those things. And it's like the first time that I kind of, like, after not achieving it, I wasn't as upset as I thought I was going to be. Because I feel like I'm playing really good volleyball right now. I'm progressing in the areas where my biggest holes are almost starting to become a strength. Like, I think so many, like, my knock for so long, and so many people were just like kind of dogging on me for it as my defense. And I'd put my defense up there with probably anybody but like a Taylor Crabb right now, as far as like the ability to dig balls and generate points on defense. I think in the US there's really, it's not that much different. I think Miles Evans probably, from a pure digging standpoint, can make some really, really good digs, but I think transition rate, helps me out a little bit. Right. I think having the right blocker also helps. And, I think that gives Miles Partain a little bit of a benefit. I think Andy is an insanely talented blocker.
It's nuts. It was awesome, man. Playing behind that block. I'm a terrible defender, objectively speaking. And even I got a fair amount of digs behind. It's so easy. Because, like, his lineup, the small nuances of blocking are what make him so good. His lineup is perfect. Then he's got those humongous freaking hands. And the moves, when he runs a 3, man, I don't know if there's anybody who's better at running a 3 than Andy, especially on the right side. He takes that big step, and you're like, oh, that line's wide open, and just he puts that right paw down there, boom. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he's got those like kind of hands. It's almost like Alisson hands, where you hit him, and you're not you're not getting it through. It's not a tool. It's like a soft touch to himself or to Miles, and yeah, it's really impressive. But I think my defense has improved like incredibly over the past 3 years, and I knew that was going to be a process. I had never played defense until 2021. So it's like, okay, like over 4 years, like that is like a huge growth area. I know we worked a lot on it last year, still been working on it with Kyle, and last year actually led the AVP in digs. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Going into like the world tour stuff, I was like top 10 in digs per set and most of the stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'm doing something right. Mm-hmm. And that was like half the time split blocking. So it's like, okay, like the defense is there now. Feels like starting to put those like pieces together. And now, like I said, just identifying the right guy to go to battle with.
Yeah. Well, you're coming off a pretty fun little Norseca qualifier win.
Yeah.
You and Big Derek Bradford.
Yeah, that's like I said, identifying. And I think, as a prospect, you'd be dumb to not look at the 20-year-old 6'9" guy.
The American Oleg.
That literally, I think he looks like build-wise like very similar to Phil. I'm not saying he is Phil or in any way, but if you look at just that body and that body look very similar.
Yeah, and Derek's probably a little bit more built than Phil ever was.
Yeah,
because Phil was long, but it's not like you look at Phil and you're like
that
man,
definition.
Like that guy, that's an athlete in the weight room.
Yeah, and just like pure athletic ability. If the volleyball catches up to those two things, then he's going to be pretty scary.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's probably one of the few people that is actually available to play right now that have been identified. I won't name names on the people who are taken.
Yeah.
But I think those are pretty obvious. There's not this big pipeline of blockers in the U.S. right now. It's not like we're like having to make all these decisions of like, oh, who's going to play with who? It's like, well, who is available to play? Who can actually compete at the World Tour level? I was, in Sean Scott's office right after try, kind of was like, hey, I'm taking an injury. I'm taking a pause on this injury and reevaluating, all of my body. And I walked into Sean's office and we're like looking at the list and Sean's like, yeah, you really don't have any options, do you? And I was like, thanks, Sean. Yep. Perfect.
Hey, shoot it to you straight.
Yeah. And so I think now it's projecting long-term who has that ability. And, the 20-year-old 6'9" guy who jumps out the gym is probably one of the people that you should be looking at and determining, okay, how long until he is good? Because he's going to be, from working with him just for the past 3 weeks now, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of got like I really recognized it in that final, like the gamer kind of come out. I think there's a lot of people who skill-wise can do this or that, but I think the will and the want to win is something that really can't be taught, and like that competitiveness and stepping up to the occasion, which for him, that's a big occasion.
Yeah.
He's never, been close to probably winning on like any sort of stage that has like international ramifications. I know from like, previous Norseca qualifiers, he's not even breaking out of the first round. So in that moment when you're down 12-9 in the second set after losing the first and he steps up and he's ripping jump serves and getting blocks, you're like, oh, okay, you're not scared of the moment. Like that's somebody that you definitely like mentally like, okay, that's something you can work with. We can maybe figure out how to pass and set and do this and that and how to line up on a block. And, there's so many things that I think still like small little areas that he has so much work to go in, but you can't teach that.
No.
Can't teach that. Can't teach 6'9" jumping out the gym.
No. And he's already got that first qualifier in Yucatan. Him and Jordan Hoppe beat Julian Horrell and Maritz Pristhaus. And I always love New Zealanders and Australians call them scalps. That's a scalp, mate. That's a good win. Because I still think, I know that Horrell and Pristhaus haven't had a ton of success in terms of wins, but I still think Pristhaus is one of the best players in the world.
And I think 15-12 against Georgian Simone in the next round.
Yeah.
Almost like going 3 with that team is an achievement.
And I love George, and I think Simone is an athletic marvel. So, like, he's already proven that he can beat some of the best teams in the world. Because, Horrell and Alex Horst, they were really good together for a couple years. They kind of petered out towards the end of the Olympic run. But, man, that was a good win.
Yeah. And, yeah, like I said, still a lot of work to go there, but definitely like identified as like, okay, that's probably somebody that we should be keeping our eyes on for a while.
Yeah. And then, yes, you beat Thomas Hurst and Gage Basie, and they qualified for the World University Games. Fun team to watch. I like their game. But that Norseca
Also played
win,
with Thomas earlier this year.
You did? Oh, that's right. Man, when I saw that you were playing Alisson and Alvaro, I was like, sorry, buddy. And then you beat him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good win.
Yeah, I think...
Did you split or run up?
We split.
Okay.
I think that's another thing that I'm like starting to recognize about my game, and I think is going to be like prove useful over the long term, is I've played with a lot of different people over my career in a very short period of time. And I think, not winning the big stuff, but I think proven over and over again that I can win with anybody and win in a variety of different ways. And I think that will prove useful. Can practice with Thomas for 45 minutes in Hermosa on a Friday afternoon after figuring out that we're going to play together at 2 p.m.
Yep.
And go and beat the Brazilian Olympic team from 2021.
Champions adapt, baby.
And so, yeah, I think I've done that with a lot of different people, doing it, even on a smaller scale, taking this raw kid that really hasn't won anything even on a small scale, and winning a small like CBVA type level, beating Lev Prima and Dylan Merrick, who like CBVA All-Stars, I think really good, both of them really good at qualifying for AVPs.
Yeah.
You'll see that those two names in at least the last round of an AVP almost every time.
Every time.
In a qualifier.
Every time.
So that's, solid, steady, winning that against Gage and Thomas, great up and coming team. Like just figuring out different ways.
You and Derek have played 2 tournaments and won them both.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's like CBVA, obviously it's not like the craziest high quality, but winning a tournament's hard. You got to beat so many teams, and everyone who plays the CBVA is talented on some level. And sometimes you play weird stuff like 1 set to 21.
Yeah.
And like some guy just catches a heater from the service line, you're down like 13-8, you're like, "Oh hell, we got to go."
Yeah. And I mean, I'm playing those, that's like everybody wants to beat you in that.
Right.
Doesn't matter who you're playing with. It's like now you get to say like, oh, I beat a MVP main draw player.
Right.
Like that's like you're saying for a CBVA player, that's a scalp. Like, oh yeah, I got him. Doesn't matter.
Scalp, mate.
So, you're getting everyone's best game for 5 matches straight.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it, did you play matches? Was it
straight matches?
I love that.
We went double elim in that one day double elim.
Yeah.
5 matches. I haven't done that in a while. It was the next day I was hurting, but
one of the longest days I've ever had, was the CBVA. I played you and Logie in the finals. Me and Marcus Carvajal.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had 3 full matches in pool play. One of them went 3, and Marcus was like, "Okay, how many more till we win?" I was like, "Well, right now it's just the 9th place rounds. So we got to play 9th, got to play quarters, semis, and finals." So it ended up being like a 7-match day.
I thought you were going to say Ohio.
Ohio was long. Me and Kevin Villela and you and JD, we both stayed in the winner's bracket. That was a 48-team double elim. I think that was
6 or 7 all the way through, straight through the winners.
Final at like 2 a.m. You know what's funny about that area is at Florida State, we had like 4 players who trained there. Mariah Massey, U19 world champ. She grew up in that area. Anna Long, she was a really, really good player. She just transferred to TCU. She grew up in that area. Her uncle is Rob Long.
Okay.
Who like runs that place.
Yeah, he's a P1440 mastermind.
Yeah. I mean, he's the king. And then Paige Kalkoff, she's from that area. That's like a little talent hotbed.
Yeah. Logan actually coached a lot of those girls, I think, when he was still up there.
Yeah.
At now defunct Cincinnati Christian University. I thought it was funny. There's like a recent trend on Instagram where people are posting their headshots from college, and then Logan posts a page of like his iPhone where it's like this page doesn't exist, and it was like it's supposed to be his, and it's just because the school doesn't have a website or anything anymore.
That's tough. So what's your schedule look like then? You just a CBVA All-Star, or what's
Yeah,
what you
so
got?
next week
And we're recording this. My watch doesn't have the right day. It says it's May 5th. It's what, June, like
June 23rd.
June 23rd. So this will be out a little bit later, but
Yeah.
what's your schedule look like?
Virginia Beach next week with Derek. Then Denver the week after, and Wapaka the week after. And then Denver.
Are you
and
playing
Wapaka,
grass?
No more. Grass is no more. Grass is a young man's game. And I think I've just seen it too many times where people, I think Pottstown going on right now.
Allie Denny with the win.
Yeah.
The strawberry cannon. Freaking love Allie.
But I've seen too many years where people play Pottstown. Rest of the season is ruined. I've played grass Wapaka after I've won Sand Wapaka, and that was probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made. I was, playing on Wapaka sand into Wapaka grass for 3 days straight. Did my body pretty bad, and thinking about how long seasons are now, we started training in January, and with the possibility of World Champs still happening, starting training in January and going until the end of November is you've got to look out for your body.
Got to be smart.
And like I said, on this grind right now, played like 5 weeks in a row before this, 3 weeks in a row, really 4, I guess, if you count the Norseca qualifier coming up. So you got to take it smart, and the goal is to try and peak around Manhattan with that World Champs qualifier back-to-back weeks. So you want to be rested. You want to be good to go for those. And grass is not playing to those plans.
No.
But playing Denver and Wapaka with Troy Field.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. That'll be fun. You're back.
Yeah. So, I love Troy. Troy and I were not meant to be long-term partners. I think just goals-wise, we see things a little bit differently. But as friends and, a couple one-offs, I think 2 people who talent-wise are probably top of the people who didn't make the league.
Yep.
Why not go make some money?
Yeah. Yeah, and if, I didn't realize, because when the AVP came out with the schedule, I saw that they had, 2 real events, and Huntington had this single limb, it was kind of watered down. Then you got Manhattan, and then they had they called contenders?
Yeah.
They got the contenders in Palm Beach, Virginia at 4, Denver and Wapaka.
Yeah. 3 of them back-to-back.
Yeah. And I didn't know.
It's a weird summer.
Because they didn't really put out the prize money, so I didn't know.
It's pretty solid.
It was worth it. But if you win, you split $10K.
It's like almost 10. It's like 98 or something, 97.
And I know it's pretty steep drop off from there, but yeah, I mean, if you make the finals,
if you, looking at it, it's like if you make semis, like it's like a solid weekend. Be like if you make semis, it's probably like a 9th in an AVP.
Okay.
So like 1,500-1,600 each. So it's like that's
yeah, that'll play for a contender.
Commendable.
Event. Yeah.
For a weekend of work.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I didn't know you were playing with Troy. That'll be fun. Yeah. He seems to be in a good place as a human.
Yeah, I'm happy for him in that manner. That was whenever I was playing with him, kind of seemed to be like the struggle was that there's a big internal struggle. Yeah. And so just from, I think Troy's a good person, and just want to see him doing well. Yeah, that's what I really like Frito's Beyond the Sand series. Oh, yeah. I'm learning stuff because I'm so far away in Tallahassee now, where I don't get to see you guys all the time. And so I watch these things. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I didn't know Troy was like getting into the spiritual side of things, and he seems to be in a good, content place. It's like it's fun where like I get to learn stuff about my friends and beach volleyball players because I'm like kind of out of it right now. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm really happy for where he's at in his mind. Yeah, that'll be sweet though. So you're playing those two. Good. I was gonna say, speaking of Tallahassee and Florida State, I mean, yeah, think I got to give a shout out to you and my girl,
Yeah.
Ashley. I guess that's another fun side adventure that I've been on. And, one thing that I think I want to leave on the volleyball world. But go Knowles for my girl, Ashley Markle. She just committed there. Put in a lot of work with her. Me and you talked a lot back and forth about her, and you like her game a lot. She loves Florida State. It's where she wants to be, and it's like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, because coming in October when I didn't have any part in recruiting any of the players, and I didn't really get to know them. I mean, it really wasn't until like February, March that you start to develop a pretty good rapport with them. And then I was really high on Ashley because she came to a couple camps, and when we had the call-in, she committed. It was like 9:00 at night, and of course the office is right below Austin's room, and I'm like, woo! And I felt like I just won a tournament. Like I called Brooke right after. I'm like, let's go, coach! And she's like, oh, it's so cute. She's like, I've been doing this for 10 years, and she was excited about it. But I was like jacked up. Like I had trouble sleeping. I was really excited. Recruiting is really fun. It's in a way that like you lose some, and that's a bummer. But then it's also an interesting spot because we had a couple players that I liked, and we can only take a really small class that they committed elsewhere. And I was like bummed we didn't get them, but really happy for them that they're going to a great program who offered them a lot. And it's cool where like to be in a position where you're still competitive, but you also want the best for young people.
Yeah.
It's fun. I've really enjoyed that side of the recruiting part. But man, getting Ashley was really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited to work with her.
Yeah. I think from the opposite side of the spectrum, recruiting can be really stressful for the athlete. I've found that now with a couple athletes, it's like the biggest doomsday ever, not being able to talk to a coach till a certain date. Yeah. It's like the clock's counting down and they're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I'm not going to get, no school's going to call me. And if like it doesn't happen at like midnight on like June 15th, they're like freaking out, and the patience. But I think from the same token of like really cool, being able to like help shape a young person's life is like one of the coolest things. And one of the things that I found the most value in with like pretty much what I'm doing is, I feel like there's so many kids that try to say the right thing when they're getting recruited, right? Versus trying to mature the athlete a little bit, make them a better person, ask the tough questions, have the hard conversations, and developing them into like a good human of like, hey, like it is okay to talk about this. It's, it's okay to like show that you struggle. It's okay, to ask questions that you feel like you need to have answered in order to go somewhere. So yeah, really, really excited for her. Think your coaching style with her is going to be really, really awesome. She responds well to that type. So yeah, I'm stoked.
Hype man.
I'm stoked.
A lot of energy. Yeah, it's been fun. I was talking to Angie Akers about this because we're both out here. She's coaching the U21 women with Kelly Reeves, and then I'm coaching the U21 men for USA with Alvaro. I was talking to her yesterday, and coaching you, Tri, Cam, Betsy, and Julia, and like a little bit with Deanna and Lexi. If I had a choice between coaching professionals and coaching college as like a full-time, like if USA offered me a full-time job, Florida State offered me a full-time job, same price, I was surprised that I would probably take the college one. Because there's like, teaching volleyball is really fun, and it's rewarding because it's a higher level working with you guys than it is working with Florida State, even though it is a high level. But you just get to have such an impact on a deeper human level that I find really rewarding and fulfilling.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. I mean, I think that's like the most that you could ask for anything in life. I think that's almost kind of become a goal, is just to like I think if you can leave an impact on somebody else, that's like what you don't need money, you don't need anything else. If you can leave an impact, leave an impression in a positive way on people, that's become meant so much more to me. And I think in any interaction now with people, I try to leave that on people. I think that's kind of, part of my journey this year as well, is like, I could very well be coaching Derek up right now and helping him out for the next couple months, and he goes and plays with somebody else and starts taking over the world tour, and I'm just screwed. But, I can now say like, hey, I know for a fact, like, I'm leaving a positive impact on him.
Yeah.
Any partnership and I think it just kind of goes with who I want to be as a human. Just, it's almost like leave something better than you found it.
Yeah.
Or, just whatever situation you walk into, just make it better.
And you're kind of doing that too. You have a little side biz.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Ashley. And yeah, for any junior athletes listening, if you want to get better off the court and on the court, I guess, helps out both on and off the court. Basically just helping on developing athletes' mindsets, in game, how they approach the game, like organizationally, how do we, prepare things, and how do we actually, like, okay, Mom, what am I doing today?
Yeah.
Like, how do we teach you to kind of be an adult and take accountability for your actions? Do some film review and help out with recruiting, and how to do all those things. So there's my shameless plug for my business. If any junior athletes want to go down that path, yeah.
Do you have a name for it? Do you have did you make like a separate LLC or anything?
I didn't make a separate LLC. I have like a name for it. I just call it Ahead of the Curve.
Okay.
And like my thought process behind it is, I think whenever I was younger, I had no clue on anything. I think most of my career has been trying to just figure it out, and I've had to figure a lot of it out on my own and experiment, go back. Okay, this worked, this didn't. Okay, the next time around this worked, this didn't, go again. And a lot of self-discovery, a lot of, picking people's brains. And rather than having a kid have to do that all on their own, walk through the recruiting process on their own, walk through their journey as an athlete alone, and try and figure it out and have this pressure of the world on them and have no clue what's right, what's wrong. Just kind of give that insight of, hey, it's okay. Like, this is okay. We lost this weekend and we were terrible. That's okay. Hey, we just won this tournament and we're on top of the world. That doesn't mean that we can just go and do whatever we want now. Like, what work got us there? Also, is this our highest goal?
Yeah.
We won a random juniors tournament in the middle of nowhere. Cool. Is that your highest goal? No. Okay. So let's keep working.
Yeah.
That's part of the step to get there, but let's keep growing and getting better. And if I like kind of the head of the curve basically is, I want to be able to have them be ahead of where they're supposed to be for their age. So for a high school sophomore, I want them, my whole goal is to try and get somebody 2 years ahead mentally where they're supposed to be, so that now for Ashley, she's committed. The whole goal now is like, when she walks in freshman year to Florida State, how do we have her prepared to try and be in the starting lineup? And your freshman year is usually a lot of learning, a lot of you're learning the curve. There's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Let's be ahead of that curve.
Yep.
And let's be ready for college. Let's be ready for the weights. Let's be ready for all of the stuff that's going to be expected of us. And if we're already adapted to that, all we really have to adapt to is being away from home at that point. We already know everything else there is. We're already doing film, so you already know how to watch film. You already are reflecting on your practices and your matches, so you already know how to do that. You already know how to do all of these things that most junior athletes don't. They're just kind of doing it, but have no idea what is right, what is wrong. And so just being able to get them ahead on that. If I haven't worked with any college athletes yet, but if they're a college athlete, they're trying to get to college or they're trying to get into the starting lineup, it's kind of all under the same umbrella. Get them ahead of where they're supposed to be.
Have you thought about writing a book?
Long term, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Ahead of the Curve, the book.
No clue. I have no clue.
That just came to mind.
Yeah. And, developing a system, I think, I'm feeling more and more comfortable with the system I'm creating. And long term, who knows?
Yeah. Because I was just like scaling out the long-term vision of that. Like, you got your consulting Is it consulting? Is that what you described it? Coaching?
Probably it'd be like consulting / coaching mixture.
Yeah. 'Cause you got that, and then you could write about what you'd be teaching, and then you could end up doing like speaking and online courses. Yeah, that could scale pretty well.
Yeah. And then I think the goal too is to start running some clinics where it's like geared towards that.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have this amount of time on sand, but then we also have this amount of time dedicated to like the off the court stuff. Cause I think, I mean, the Confident Mind, which I know is like book recommendation number 1 for athletes for you. I think that was a big game changer for me in understanding how much mentally, things can change for you and how much, you know, I think percentage wise, it starts to weigh differently. And I even think in that NORCECA qualifier, for me, and just being in situations where, you know, I think there is something to people who have been in the moment before. It's a huge advantage. Yeah. Because that pressure feels so little. Like in that moment, I was just like, if we lose, we lose. Like happens. Yeah. It's going to happen a lot. And that takes that pressure off. You're just playing within yourself. You know, I think a lot of the stuff of like staying confident within the confident mind, like it's almost Tri talks about unconditional confidence. And I think that the confident mind kind of teaches you that unconditional confidence. You might have to work for it.
I like that terminology. Unconditional confidence.
Yeah. It's like no matter what situation, no matter where we're at, like we have faith and belief that what we have is good enough. Yeah. And I even talked about it with my sports psych a little bit of like, you know, you might feel 80%, but my 80% is good enough to beat this person. It might look different. I might have to figure out what my 80%, you know, looks like to win. That's what the NORCECA was for me. My knee was really, really bad. Like I could barely even jump. I could like barely push off to run down stuff on defense, but it's like, how am I going to make this work to win? How am I going to use my energy wisely to win? Like, okay, like what moments do I push? What moments do I not push? Like I can't just go and get everything right now. So, okay, I could just like feel the moments of the game. I think that's another thing, like in that you've been in the moment before. It's like, okay, now's the time. Like this is a crucial, you can like feel those crucial points happening and you're like, all right, like this is a turning point. If we turn a point here, like we have a good chance of winning. And so, yeah, I think the mental side is starting to just shift more and more towards like the 50% range for me now. It's like crazy. Yeah.
What do you think you've grown more in, the physical or the mental side in the last